We are at Arkansas's famous Crater of Diamonds State Park, and you can see here the iconic mine shaft building. This you'll see in a lot of postcards and pictures of the Crater of Diamonds. We're at the north end of the diamond search field. They say it's 37 acres, and we're over at this end. And this part of the search field has been plowed, but if you look, the rest of this field is just pretty green. Grassy. I don't know how anybody would find a diamond in that meadow. But anyhow, right now, believe it or not, I'm not looking for diamonds. We are on the grassy knoll, not the famous one from Dallas. This is much less famous grassy knoll. Let me move the tripod just a little, and I'll show you a secret weapon I brought. So I'm Glenn W. Worthington, and I found 177 diamonds here in the past, but today I'm not looking for diamonds. It is April 22nd, 2022, and what am I looking for if I'm not looking for diamonds, and what are you doing with a mop in your hand? Well, those are really some good questions, and I'm glad you asked, because I'm prepared to answer those questions. So, this is historic. I have never paid to get into the Crater of Diamonds at 3 o'clock in the afternoon when their search field closes at 4. But this is a special day. They're going to have speakers starting at 4 o'clock, so I've got 45 minutes. And they're going to dedicate the Esperanza shovel marker, so I'll try to make a video of that as well. So over on this part, the reason this is a knoll, this is higher than the rest of the search field, is this is weather resistant rock. This is lamperite, but it's known as MOL, or magmatic olivine lamperite. It's hard, really hard. And the good news and the bad news is there's no diamonds in this. The bad news is, well, that's too bad it doesn't bear diamonds. The good news is you wouldn't want to try to have to get a diamond out of that hard stuff. So why am I over here, and what am I doing with a mop in my hand? Well, this was an old mop, and the sponge went bad, and I didn't throw it away. I thought surely someday I'll find the right replacement for it. Well, I never did, and today I wanted to rig up a special tool because I'm looking for magnetic rocks over here. And in this magmatic olivine lamperite, you can find magnetic rocks. And so I attached this bar magnet to this mop, hillbilly rigging, redneck, check your neck. And then I just put a little extra magnet on that bar magnet just for good measure. But what I'm going to do is sweep over this area and see if I can pick up any magnetic rocks. Now, why would you want a magnetic rock? Well, I'm a rock nerd. Do you have a magnetic rock? Well, there you go. Some of the magnetic rock that's found here is what's called magnetite. I found out this is easier to drag than it is to push. So, and I'm not all that good at mopping anyway, so instead of pushing against these rocks, I pull, and that way I'm using less force and I'm less likely to knock a magnetic rock off of here once I picked it up. So I'm just kind of going across the ground. This is used to pick up screws and things, like we had our hail damage on the roof of our mining office near here. And just today the guys put a new roof on, and when they were done they took a special magnet and went all over the ground and picked up all the nails and stuff out of the driveway, fortunately, and out of the yard. And I didn't want any of that in my tires or to step on one out in the yard. So anyway, I saw them doing that and I thought, you know, I've always meant to rig up a magnet and take it over to this knoll, the grassy knoll north of the mine shaft building at the crater. And I thought, hey, I'm going to the crater today, why not rig it up today and see if you can find one. Now, one of the the more impressive magnetic rocks you can find here is magnetite. And what is really cool about it, it looks a lot like chromium spinel. It's black, lustrous, and they tend to form in the octahedral form. Now, an octahedron is two four-sided pyramids, bottom to bottom. So they're like this on all sides. It's cool. And my wife, my sweet wife, one time, we were surface searching over here for diamonds. Now, this is not a good place for diamonds. There just won't be any diamonds on this knoll. So don't bother with that. But we were surface searching for rocks, looking around. Something shined at my wife, and she stopped and picked up a rock about like this. And embedded in the rock was an octahedral magnetite. It is a cool specimen. I will try to put a picture of it on the cover or thumbnail of this video so you can see what she found right close to here. And I didn't find anything that day, but Cindy Worthington found an octahedral magnetite in situ in the host rock, and it's cool. It's small. Let's see if I picked up anything. Yeah, under here. Oh well, I'll have to get that out later. Well, maybe I can pry it out. So here are a couple of magnetic rocks, but they don't really look like much of anything. You wouldn't know it from any other rock, but the magnet did pick that up. It does. They both stick to a magnet. So these are magnetic rocks, but not magnetite. I'm looking for a magnetite octahedron. It'd be just cool to find, and people have found them here. In fact, I think it was Troy Savage from Antlers, Oklahoma. He said, "Glenn, I found these. They were black, shiny, and octahedral shaped." And I said, he wanted to know what it was. And I said, I can not only tell you what it is, I can tell you where you found it. You found it just north of the iconic mine shaft building, and you found it on the grassy knoll. And he said, yeah, that's where I found it. What is it? And I said, it's a magnetite. Excuse me, a magnetite octahedron. So he did pretty good finding that. I think he dug and washed some of this stuff, just wondering if there was diamonds in it or what heavies he could find. But magnetite is the density of about the same as a diamond, and chromium spinel, pyrope garnet, chromium diopside. So when he ran the material in his Saruka, it went to the middle and to the bottom, flipped the Saruka over, and here were these shiny, black, small octahedrons. And that's magnetite. So he could have found it with a magnet, but his method might prove better than mine. I've just always meant to do this. They've got real nice magnets fixed with wheels and a handle and everything that you can buy, but you know, over 150 bucks. And I thought, I'll hillbilly one. I'll make something up like that. So this isn't bad to do in the shade today. It's kind of warm in the sun, but this afternoon we got a little bit of a wind. I'm not picking up any magnetite, but it was a great idea, whether it worked or not. So if you want to try this sometime, now you know how to do it and where to do it. I'd love to pick up a nice big magnetic rock, but all I've got are these little ones, and they're not too impressive. Yeah, I got little stuff, and this isn't like a piece of iron or anything, but anyway, I've got volcanic intrusions have a magnetic signature. And honestly, the MOL, the magmatic olivine lamprite, has a higher or greater magnetic signature than the diamond-bearing Brescia lamprite does. The way some of the other diamond pipes outside the state park have been found is by an aerial magnetic survey. They take an airplane and fly a grid over an area with a magnetometer, and it records the magnetic reading of the ground. And that's how the Timberlands was found over here out in the woods. It was the last of there are 7 known diamond pipes outside of the crater of Diamond, all in a northeasterly trend from here, all within 3 miles. And so they were flying over this pine forest, really, and a plane detected a magnetic anomaly. And they got permission from the timber company that owned the Timberlands to go in there and do some ground survey on it. And then they actually core drilled it and proved, yeah, there is lamprite there, about an acre. It's got 30 feet of overburden. So it wasn't a real big deposit, and with that much overburden, it's just not worth mining there. And it was actually the garden where this company is growing trees anyway, so they didn't really want to get in with heavy equipment and dig a horrendous hole to get down 30 feet deep. 30 feet is not far when you're walking that way, but when you're going down, 30 feet is a lot. Climb 30 feet up a water tower and look down and see if you're not up there a ways. Anyhow, the Timberlands was never mined. When I did diamond exploration outside the state park, we went in there and did a ground magnetic survey and some core drilling there and delineated exactly where it is. And the company I worked for spent a lot of money, and they said, yep, that's where it is, and we studied it, and you get no diamonds out of it. I don't understand a company that throws a lot of money at a project just studying something and not trying to go for the diamonds that actually pay for your work. But anyway, that's why I only worked for them for 3 years, because they went belly up. They spent all the money they could get from investors and shut everything down. But I think if we had pursued diamonds more rather than just studying lamprite and studying dirt and making geological studies in the field, we would have found, excuse me, more diamonds, made money, and I would have been with the company much longer. Excuse me. Well, that's probably a sign that I should just sign off for now and let you go. But anyway, you might try the magnet idea. You might have better luck than me. There's a big area here, so the knoll just north of the old mine shaft building, it's good for magnetite.